What up, guys? We are gonna go do some quads today. I took 2 days off of the gym. I was gonna take another day because I actually still have a lot of stuff to get done, but I'm like, you know what? I gotta get these gains. These quads can't wait. I got these skinny little twig legs. So we're gonna hit this 5-hour energy and go to the gym. If you're looking for the best pre-workout, 5-hour energy, and then use like some kind of pump product. Ghost Pump, Legion's stim-free pre-workout. Something to kind of counteract the vasoconstriction of the caffeine. That's basically all pre-workouts are. Is our caffeine plus pump product to help good blood flow. Because if you just do caffeine on its own, you're gonna get vasoconstriction. Basically your veins kind of shrink up, your capillaries and veins shrink up, which makes your blood flow worse, which makes your pumps worse. You know, so you get the good energy, so you push yourself hard, but then that blood flow is not there. So you need both. And you could just do a pre-workout, honestly. I just love 5-hour energies. Like no other energy drink makes me feel as good as 5-hour energies. Like they're all different. Like Celsius, I hate Celsius. Anything with guarana, and you know, everyone's different. Like what feels good for me might feel, you know, bad for someone else and vice versa. But guarana gives me the like cold sweats. Like my palms will get all sweaty. And I'm just like, why do I feel anxious and sweaty? But 5-hour energy is just like pure golden energy. I'm just like, yes, I feel good, baby. And then sometimes a little anxiety when I have too many in one day, which has been happening a lot lately because I have a lot to do. And I'm like, come on, get more energy, baby. But anyway, let's go hit this quad workout and get some coaching work done. I got like some new people that want to sign up, so I got to hit them back. And then we'll see when we get home. I got to edit some more vlogs. Hopefully I can get that done. I'm working with Bryce, who's my videographer, and then we hired an editor to do some things, but those are the more like complex videos. I've still been doing my own like little vlogs and stuff because the YouTube channel isn't making money, so to pay an editor for everything just doesn't make sense at this point. So hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, help this channel grow, and then I can pay an editor and I can pump out even more content. Jack and Jill went up the hill to do a cool driving montage. Driving montage. Driving montage. We're on day 1 of the plan. Actually, it's day 2, but I started with day 2 originally when I started filming these videos. So we have quads. We're gonna do leg press, then hack squat / reverse squat. Then we got a couple sets of leg extension. And then we're gonna end with close stance Smith machine squats. And that will be it for the day. I haven't lifted for like 3 days at this point, right? I drove back from Las Vegas, didn't lift on that day, which was Monday. I did lift Sunday. I did chest at the Las Vegas Fit Club gym. Monday, we drove back, didn't lift. Tuesday, stayed home to get work done, didn't lift. Wednesday, stayed home to get work done, didn't lift, which was actually good for me. Good rest. Now my body feels good to go. And we can actually slay these quads today. I will just do some B-roll of the workout. And if I feel like talking about anything, maybe I will. But the workout will be in the description if you want to do the same workout that I'm doing. But I got to get focused and really crush it on legs, because legs is my main focus on like what I need to grow the most. Really nothing else needs to grow on my body except for my legs. All right, we just got to the gym. This is my first time coming out to the gym without my mustache, and I feel very naked. It's starting to grow back, but I still look very strange to myself. I don't like it, man. I need to grow that back. Do I look younger? I don't know. I feel like I still look same age, just no mustache. A lot of my family's Mexican, so I could say whatever the hell I want, and I'm half Mexican, actually. But you go to their house, right? And they serve you. It's like 10% protein, 90% carbs. You're like, why do I need 4 different carb sources in each meal? I don't need tortillas, beans, and rice, dude. Like, if anything, you maybe want 1 carb source. You don't want 3. And then if you're gonna have beans, tortillas, and rice, okay, then have less of each one. But you need to bulk up that protein. We actually have our family trained at this point. Like my wife, her grandma lives in LA, right? This little house right off the freeway in the middle of LA.
And, you know, she's like an old school Mexican grandma, so she loves to cook. Like, anytime you come over, she's gonna cook up some food. She's gonna be like, ¿Tienes hambre? ¿Tienes hambre? And you'll be like, no. And she'll be like, okay, ¿tienes hambre? And then she'll make you food anyway. And then, but you know, she used to make us the Mexican food, which she always made. But then Lily explained to her one time how we eat. And now, anytime we go over there, she cooks up like a bunch of extra chicken for us. And sometimes we'll give her money and sometimes we'll like buy the chicken for her, but she knows like we want a bunch of chicken and we don't want that much beans and rice. And then someone else will come in the house, right? Like my wife, my father-in-law will come in, and then she'll just give him the standard plate of beans, rice, a little bit of meat, and a tortilla. Because they don't use forks and spoons, they use tortillas for their utensil. Like, bro, if your plate is already 80% carbs, you don't also need your fork to be made out of carbs and be eating your fork. It's like, choose one. You want a tortilla to wrap your food in, or do you want rice on the side, or do you want a little bit of beans and rice on the side? Actually, you can do whatever you want. You just need the right amount of macros, right? So you could have beans, rice, and tortillas, but just less of each one so that the total is correct. That sounds like a good YouTube video idea. Eating like a Mexican for a week. This is what it did to my body. I ate beans, rice, and tortillas for a week. Did I get shredded? Or did I end up looking like a Mexican? Oh, guess what? End up looking like a Mexican. All right, we are done with our workout for the day. We got in and out of there very quickly, which was my goal because I have a lot of stuff to get done today. And the workout went even better. Honestly, if you can put like a rush on yourself, like, what do you call it? What are those words that I'm looking for? A sense of urgency. Like if you can create a forced sense of urgency by like planning things close together or whatever, like any day where I have to be done at a certain time, right? Because I work for myself. So there's a lot of days where I don't have to be done at a certain time and I can kind of just mosey on. Oh my God. I turned off my car setting where it keeps the air on for me. It's very hot. I'm not used to this. That's a great thing about a Tesla, dude, that has a setting where like it keeps your car from getting above a certain temperature while you're in the gym or whatever, which in Phoenix, it makes the battery die like way quicker. So I turned it off when I went to Vegas. But anyway, a sense of urgency can, sense of urgency can really help you get things done, especially like a workout. If you are like, yo, I only have 45 minutes and I have to get my ass out of here, which for most people, if you have a normal 9 to 5, then that's the case. So that's actually, it works in your favor, I would say, because you're like, man, I have only this time to get it done, so I have to go really hard in order to get those gains that I'm looking for. What's up, my babies? Good girls. Good girls. Let's go potty. Go potty. Come on. Come. You stubborn ass. Blue, come. Navy, come in. Come on. Stay. Good girl. Look, we actually got this new griddle thing. I'll show my address, but this new grill, like a flat top grill. My mother-in-law bought it for us. We always tell her not to buy us stuff, but she just loves giving gifts, and if she like realizes somebody wants something or like is thinking about it, she'll just get it for them. I tell her not to freaking waste her money on me, but that'll be nice to have when it gets a little cooler outside. We'll start grilling. It'd be great for steaks because steaks actually come out so much better on like a flat surface. Like pan-seared steaks are incredible. Like a normal grill, I never wanted a normal grill because they're so freaking dirty, dude. Like those little, you have to like scrape them and then all the scrapings go like in the freaking inside of the grill. It's just so much harder to clean. I'm like, a flat top makes so much more sense. I guess if you like a flame broiled like burger or flame broiled steak, then they're good. But I feel like the flat top is like a way better option. These are my dog kennels. I want to get some like new ones, some like nicer looking ones that look more like furniture, and then maybe like replace this thing with the dog kennel so that everything can just be over here, and then this space can be open and cleaner looking. Like these ugly ass old cages look so ugly, but the nice like furniture ones are like $300 each, so I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But people are like, why do you kennel train your dogs? I'm like, dude, every dog should be trained to a degree, right? You need to teach them to sit, stay. I like kennel training, and most people do. Like any if you look at any professional dog trainer with like the most perfectly trained dog that you're like, hey, go get me a Pepsi and that shit, and that dude goes and gets it, he's kennel trained. You're like, go to bed, he goes to bed. Dogs, there's nothing wrong with kennel training, unless you're gonna leave them in there for like 15 hours every day, right? But it's actually can be safer for them. In the Navy, she's in the kennel if we take her to my mother-in-law's for babysitting, like if we're gonna go on a trip. We keep her in the kennel because there's also like 5 or 6 other dogs over there, and just like the kids are not careful with anything. So anytime she's not being watched, she's in the kennel, which is much safer for her. If she were just wander around, one of the kids would let her outside, she'd fall in the pool. So kennel training is actually great, especially if you're ever gonna have anyone watch your dogs for you. Anyway, checking for packages because I ordered some new things for this camera. I wanted like a thing that can hold it in the car because I've just been holding it while I drive, and I'd prefer to not. I've been eating a lot earlier. It's 1 o'clock, not bad. There was a long time where I was eating at like 4, 5, 6 o'clock every day, like no problem. But recently, I think with this bulk, this month of like eating more, it's like ramping up my metabolism or something. I hate when people say that, but yeah, it actually can. Like the more you eat, the faster your metabolism gets. Not to say that you won't gain weight, you'll still be in a surplus, but like let's say you eat a lot for several months, you eat 3,000 calories a day, and then you drop that to like 2,200, your body's gonna be used to burning 3,000 or close to it, right? It's gonna try to burn as much as it can. And then when you drop down, your deficit is gonna be larger and easier to lose weight on that deficit. But I'm also gonna be very hungry when we start this cut. So, I don't know. I was thinking about like trying like Retatrutide or something, but I'm like, I feel like that's such a cheat, you know what I mean? And also the one thing about Retatrutide, so I was looking into it, right? Because I was like, dude, a drug that can like curb your hunger and burn fat, which I think can be great for some people, right? If you have a very big issue with hunger addiction and like you cannot control your appetite, I think semaglutide, Retatrutide, those type of drugs, the GLP-1 agonists, can be very useful if you use them at the right dose and you don't just crank it through the roof to the point where you're like not hungry at all and you're just like not eating at all. You want a dose that's like curbs your appetite just enough so that you can implement those good habits and actually start eating better. You don't want to just like ramp it up and be like, I don't want anything to eat, I don't want to throw up. You know what I mean? But there is a perfect dose you can get to where your appetite is curbed just enough. So like if you eat, some chicken or whatever, and you eat just a normal plate of food, then you're full. Then you are a little bit nauseous, right? But there's a dose where you don't want to eat at all. And you're just like, ugh, I don't want any of that. That would be a bad way to use it, right? Like I watched this video, Jacqueline Hill used it, and Greg Doucette did a reaction on it, and Jacqueline Hill was just cranking it through the roof to the point where she just wasn't hungry, and she lost weight, of course. But then there's Retatrutide, which actually helps lipolysis, so like literally helps burn fat, plus has some of the appetite suppression, but not quite as much. Like you have to use a higher dose. I was looking into it because I was like, what if I try it? But then I was like, nah. And the main reason I said nah is because it can also impact your dopamine receptors in a way that decreases your sex drive. And I was like, no thanks, I wanna fuck. And what's for lunch? It is a taco ball per usual. Dude, gonna put some onions on that beach and some hot sauce. Watch some Criminal Minds. This is the newest season of Criminal Minds, Criminal Minds Evolution. I don't know if there was any other seasons that I missed, but a few years ago I watched all the Criminal Minds on Netflix or wherever it was at, like a bunch of seasons, right? I love that show. And then me and Lily would just laugh because every episode, they're just like, he's a sexual sadist. We need to find this man. He's a sexual sadist. He just wants to beat the shit out of women for his own pleasure. But yeah, then they came out with this new season. I don't know if I missed one because some of the stuff is not like jogging my memory or making sense. So I feel like maybe I missed some stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have some lunch. Then I prepped up my Ninja Creamy right there. Also got this Coke Zero Vanilla that I'm gonna try. Haven't tried this one yet. It's not cold, so I'm gonna get some ice for that. I might have the Ninja Creamy later. I'm definitely gonna have some protein bars. We picked up a bunch of protein bars yesterday. Let's try this Coke Zero Vanilla real quick. It lost a lot of fizz because I poured it over ice. And I prefer just to have a cold can. I would say regular Coke Zero tastes better. Better than vanilla, better than cherry. All the diet ones that have like an extra flavor added, like cherry Coke Zero, vanilla Coke Zero, they taste more artificial. I think plain Coke Zero or plain Diet Coke is better than all the other flavors. I'm gonna try this new peanut butter Built Puff bar. I don't know if I'll like it. I generally don't love like peanut butter stuff, except my Ninja Creamy, but that Rise Skippy peanut butter. I would love to work with Rise there. Have some really good protein. What the heck? This looks weird. Usually they're covered in chocolate. This one's covered in peanut butter. It's not bad. I definitely prefer the other flavors. Yeah, I just don't love peanut butter like bars in general. I don't think I've ever tried a protein bar that was peanut butter flavored that I actually like. All right, time to get to work. I'm gonna edit. I finished editing that one yesterday. It's a short form video. Gotta edit some vlogs today, and we're getting in some more steps. I already have like 9,000 steps from earlier from going to the gym and walking around, making lunch, whatever. So if I can get in another 10K, that'd be sick. If I can get close to 20,000 steps. This weekend will be the end of the bulk, and then we'll be moving into the cut. Maybe for the cut, I won't even drop my calories. Maybe I'll just get in 20,000 steps per day. That would also work if my weight has been maintaining this whole time. If I eat the same and just get in like an extra 10,000 steps per day, then I will lose weight. Guys, you need to hit the subscribe button because I really need to hire this editor to do this full time and save me some time. But anyway, the packages came. Let's check it out and see what we've got here. Oh, almost tripped. Good job, genius. I got one little package and the big one. I don't know what's in that one, but I think the stuff that I ordered is in this little one here. God damn it. You know, I really need to order a box cutter because I always just use this knife, this old crappy steak knife that we never use for really anything except for, sometimes I'll eat meat with it, but usually just open boxes with it. Editing that vlog, and we had the editor edit, because I did a video in Vegas where I did, if I can't double my $100, I have to shave my mustache. And if you're seeing this before you saw that video, you know the outcome. But that video turned out really good, the editor. I edited most of it. Like, I edited it basically how it looks now. But we sent it to him and he like added captions and music and made a few slight adjustments that just made it like a lot more engaging, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Cause like sometimes I have good ideas, but I don't know how to edit that great. Like I can clip things together. Like if you watch these daily vlogs, I edit these. So that tells you my skill level when it comes to editing. Like if it's just talking and clips of talking in a row, then I can do that. But if it's like, you know, adding music to like draw you in and stuff like that, I have no idea how to do that shit. Anyway, here's the little tripod I was talking about. So here, let's show you the one that is currently on this little thing. I think it can stand by itself. Okay, so this is the one that was on there currently. All right, so it can open up like that and you can set it down on surfaces. This one is bigger, which I like this camera because it's so compact and small. So this one's gonna make it, you know, bigger, but sometimes it will be useful because this will be higher up and it can extend. And the thing I really like about this one is it's magnet. So I can just easily connect and disconnect it from the camera. Well, prepare to be amazed, guys. And it's connected, see? So, you can see how much better that angle is than if it's like down here looking up at me. So, that's gonna be useful, I think. And I also got this one for the car, because you know I like to talk in the car on the way to the gym. So I got this little suction-y thing. Boom, boom, boom. And it basically, it's MagSafe, so it'll work my phone, but it also has a little thing to make this little Osmo camera work with that as well. The little Osmo slides into this, and then this is magnetic. Boom. So that should work really well. So in my car, I should be able to like, boom, boom. See, and that suctions. And then we're good to go. And this different ways. So that should be pretty useful. And then you should be able to take it off the other way. Boom. But anyway, there's my new toys, guys. So I'm gonna go finish uploading. I need to upload this Mike Thurston video to YouTube. Well, it's uploaded, but I'm waiting on the thumbnail. I don't usually use thumbnails, but for the more, if you see this Mike Thurston video, if you saw this one, you'll see it's a little more complex than my normal vlogs. It was like an actual video. And if it does really well, maybe I'll do more complex videos. If it doesn't, then I'm just gonna keep doing simple little vlogs like this. All right, guys, I am done editing this vlog. It is exporting. It has been a good day. We hit quads, got jacked, right? Showed you some of my meals. Lily's gonna be home pretty soon, so I'm gonna try to spend some time with her. But guys, if there's 3 things you need to have a better life that you need to focus on if you want to improve your life long term, 1, fitness. Get in great shape. It will make you feel good mentally, right? It'll make you confident. When you wake up and look in the mirror and you don't hate how you look, you're gonna feel so much better. 2, personal finance. You guys know I love talking about personal finance, and I think it should be taught in schools. I don't know why it's not. It should be mandatory in high school. Everyone should learn about this stuff. Don't get in debt, right? If you're in debt, pay off your debt. And then, save an emergency fund. Then start investing for the future. Investing is the only way you will ever be able to retire, and it doesn't require a ton of extra money, guys. Go play with ChatGPT. Ask it questions like, if I invest in the S&P 500, $200 a month, starting at age 20, how much money will I have at age 65? Or whatever age you are. And then from there, you can figure out how much you need to be investing every month to hit that number that you need to retire, okay? Think about it this way. If you invest in the S&P 500, you can get like an 8 to 10% return on average, okay? So every $1 million that you're able to invest over time, right? You don't invest $1 million, you invest like a few $100,000, and over time it grows into $1 million. But every $1 million you have at retirement, you're basically able to pull 4% of that per year. So 1 million is 40 grand per year. So if you currently have a lifestyle where you need $120,000 per year, you're gonna need about $3 million in retirement. Now, if you buy a house and pay it off by the time you get retired, then your expenses might be a little bit lower. So you might be able to get away with 2 million and have $80,000 per year. You just gotta figure out how much money do I need to live comfortably forever. And from there, you know how many millions you'll need in retirement to have that amount of money indefinitely. If you use the 4% rule, most likely you never run out of money because it goes up by 8 to 10% a year and you're pulling off 4%. So it could even grow. And then when you die, you still have that $2 million, $3 million left, and you can leave that to your kids. Or you could pull a little bit higher than 4% and try to die with 0. It's a little scary because you got to time it perfectly, but you can try to die with less, you know what I mean? So yeah, personal finance, get interested in that. It will help you so much. You won't have credit card debt using up all your money every month. You won't have car loans and stupid crap that's stressing you out. You need to, live frugally for a while, put away some money, and then eventually you can have that lifestyle you want, not from your income, but from your investments. 3, choose a good woman, a good partner, because they will push you to do all of these things, right? If you have a good woman, she won't be okay with you being a lazy piece of shit, okay? My woman pushed me, right? I worked at Farmers. I didn't like that job. And for years, I would come home and complain about it. And she would say, well, what are you going to do? I don't want to hear you complaining about this. I want you to do better. And she didn't mean that in a bad way. Like, I don't want to hear you complaining about this. She was like, well, what, complaining is not going to do anything. So do something, right? So that pushed me to do better. And also something that pushes me to do better is I want to provide a good life for her. And I want to make sure that she's taken care of if something happens to me, right? So I'm trying to invest. I'm trying to pay extra toward the house because I want to make sure that if I die, she will still be able to live a lifestyle, or she will be able to survive on her own, on her income without mine. You know what I mean? And I think that's your duty if you love somebody as a man, if you love a woman or maybe another man, I don't know. But if you love that person, you shouldn't just think about today, you should think about, is this person gonna be able to be okay if I'm not here? Financially, emotionally, they'll be wrecked, of course. But financially, right? Because think about that. Think about if you lose your spouse, probably one of the worst things that can happen to you, right? Emotionally, that would just tear you up. And then think about that happening and you can't afford your mortgage anymore. You can't afford your bills anymore. You got to sell your house that you lived in with your spouse. You got to downgrade to some crappy apartment and you got to scrape by. You don't want that to happen to your person, right? So you need to work your ass off to make sure that they will be okay if something happens to you. So those 3 things, guys: get in good shape, focus on your personal finances, and find someone good in your life that will push you to do better and that you love so much that you want to work harder. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the vlog. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.